What is up? I don't know if you can't. My camera on the other side's all fucked up. I smashed the lens on an accident, and I can't zoom on this side. You can see the moon up there, and then Mars. See if I can get it. Is like right there. Well, this camera ain't good enough to see it, but it's fucking cool. It's like the third or fourth time in the last 3 or 4 months, like the last 3 or 4 moons, it's been right by Mars. And as a matter of fact, Mars is ahead of us. I wondered because in like late March, early March, I could see it'd be like Saturn to the left, Jupiter, and then Mars to the right. And then it was Mars passed both of them, and it didn't line up, but it was like close, like it almost touched the bottoms of them. But it got cloudy for a couple weeks, so I didn't get to see it. But by the time it got clear again on the early morning, because it's like 5 in the morning, they were up in late March. But by the time it finally got clear out, it looked exactly the same in the sky, except Mars was on the opposite side. And then I started wondering, how the fuck did Mars pass them two and we not lap it ourselves? Or how, but like, I know it's just weird, but I realized that Mars was ahead of us in our orbit. It passed Jupiter and Saturn, it lapped them. We just lapped Jupiter and Saturn recently, like really recently. And as of like right now, we are almost perfectly lined up with Mars from the sun's perspective, or from, like, I want to say that like roughly around like the 7th through the like 12th of October, it's going to be on the opposite side of us from the sun. And you can tell because like it's coming up shortly after the sun goes down, and just goes down before the sun like peaks up over the horizon. Like you can still see it. It's like a faint white dot, but you can actually see it as the sun has not yet cleared the horizon. And it's cool because once it's on the back side of us, and we're actually like in the process, like we're in a process of lapping Mars right now. But hold on a second. All right, sorry, I couldn't pull a cigarette out of the fucking pack without dropping my phone. But yeah. So during that, like from like the 7th to the 12th, somewhere in there, we're actually gonna be like perfectly parallel with Mars in our orbit. So we're like actually in the process of lapping it. So when that happens, on whatever day it happens to be, literally as the sun goes down, Mars is like just goes below the horizon. Mars is just gonna be peeking up above the horizon, and right as it's about to go down, it'll literally just disappear behind the tree line as the sun's starting to come up behind the other one, which is kind of like with a full moon. Like last night was a full moon, so it's like on the back side of the sun. I mean the back side of the Earth from the sun, so it's up the entire time the sun is not. But anyways, this is not a video about space, but the skies are fucking fascinating, and I love watching it because it's just insane. Like you can see planets all the fucking time. I mean, pretty much all year you could at least see one planet. Last summer I was looking at 4 of them, and last summer it's still fucking dark out here. This is probably just gonna be, well, I keep saying it's gonna be a practice video, but it's probably not. It's probably just gonna fucking post it because last time I got my point out anyways. So, but yeah, it's cool watching this stuff. Last summer, Saturn and Jupiter are so far apart that when I put my hand, you can't even see like my thumb and pinky out. I couldn't quite touch Saturn or Jupiter on either side, and now they're like 2 knuckles away. It's like they're really close to each other. So anyways, sorry about the walk-in videos. If anybody watches this shit, it's just I fucking love being outside, and it's cold out, but it ain't fucking just bitterly painfully cold yet like it loves to get in Chicago. But there's a lot of it's dark too, because I'm out in the middle of a fucking field by my place walking. You get the moon every now and then. Let's see if you can see Mars. No, not quite. It's like just up and to the left of it. So anyways, ever since I started this series of these videos, I've been really like thinking about this a lot because I really want to get my point across to people. I want to explain to people, just like the last one I kind of explained how I got to the point of being down all the time. And then I want to talk more about that because I think more people can relate to being down all the time, or even a lot of the time, as opposed to being euphorically happy. You don't see a lot of that these days. But I kind of wanted to talk more about, this is fucking dark as shit. Let me find a better spot. Alright, well, this is a little bit of a better spot. It ain't a ton of light. Like I said, hell, you could just turn the sound on and shut the screen off anyways. I mean, the fucking visual ain't even important anyhow. The important part is what I'm trying to convey to people. But the reason I want to talk about this is because, you see, when I went through these down times, now, again, I mean, sorry, some nasty ass bug on the ground. Like, I refuse to say that I was ever depressed, because people have legitimate shit to be depressed about. People have lost children, who've died. They've lost husbands and wives who've died. There's all kind of really bad things that happen to people, and none of that shit happened to me. So, like I said, I refuse to ever say I was depressed. I refuse to say that I ever was depressed during the time. But I'll tell you what, man, I was fucking miserable. I mean, every fucking day, man. It took everything I had to get out of bed. And it was like I started working a day job for the first time in my life, and just have to get up in the mornings every fucking day, man, and try to drag myself through the fucking day, because, like, now knowing what it was that made me so miserable, I understand better, because, it's like, like I said, during the time, I kept trying to, like, I don't know, it's like I felt like I had to have someone in my life, I guess, and I've never really been that way. And even then, it's like, I've known people that just go from one person to the next. I mean, they have like a week maybe in between, and it's like they just spend forever doing that and never really have time to themselves. That shit I can't do. But, like I said, I would wait until I met somebody that I liked me, that I was attracted to, was attracted to me, we get along, have shit in common, and then give it a shot. But that really wasn't what was bothering me. I just didn't realize that. Ironically, as weird as it is, I didn't even realize it until just a few days ago, like last week. It finally dawned on me why the fuck I was so miserable. But that feeling I've had in my gut ever since literally my first memories of life, like 2 years old. I remember that feeling was there. Even then, I just didn't know what it was. So, having this feeling my whole life, and having this feeling that, like, I'm supposed to do something big in the world. I mean, I've always really been excited about it. And the reason I was so down during that time is because that feeling was gone for the first time in my life. I was about 30 years old. I was like 29 or so when it happened. But from 29, I turned 29 in August of, not 39, I'm sorry, I turned 29 in August of something. The fuck would that have been? 2010? And from then until the 4th of July of 2016, that feeling was fucking gone. And it's like, I never, ever doubted, period, that it was going to come back. I knew that the down times would end. And even then, even though it didn't make me feel any better, I knew that all that was for a reason. I mean, I knew that for something that was making me feel that miserable had to be leading to something. But it was just, a year in, all right, 2 years in, all right, 3, like, fuck, 4, like, fuck, 5, I'm just like, dude, I don't even want to fuck, like, what the fuck, man? But it's like, I don't know, it's just, I couldn't get it back. And I knew that it would come back, but it was like, I'm like, how fucking long is it gonna take? So, anyways, kind of losing my train of thought here, but I just, regardless of whether, like, being really down and miserable, I guess being miserable or even being depressed for people that, have a reason to be depressed. No, I don't want to go that far, because there's some real shit that people have to be depressed about, but it's like, let's just say that being miserable, okay? Especially when you have no life circumstances that should make you feel that way. I mean, it's as imaginary as fear is. Fear is just something that your mind comes up with. Now, whether or not you have a reason to be scared of something, it's completely irrelevant. If you're fucking scared of something, you're going to be scared of it. And, whether it's real or not, that doesn't really make any difference. Because it's just as real to that person as if it were, as if it was real. So, being miserable is kind of the same way. It's like, if you really believe that you're miserable, you're going to be fucking miserable. And, I mean, like, I can't explain the feeling inside, and it's like this, and like I said, mind you, I knew at some point it was going to end. I had no doubt about this, but it just, as years drug on, I'm starting to wonder, I'm like, damn, should I have walked away from that girlfriend I had? That was the reason, that was my main reason for leaving, was because I knew that I wasn't going to find that feeling sticking around. So, 5 years later, I mean, I didn't even fucking miss her anymore. It's just, I'm like, geez, it hadn't come back. And I'm like, well, what the fuck am I doing? But I found, and again, like, I've already said before, like, I've always believed in God. I have a very close relationship with God. And I have actually literally seen things happen that are so fucking specific. And just the way they happen is like, dude, you won't convince me otherwise. But I want to say this because, there are probably a lot of people out there who don't believe in God who go, well, this video's of no use to me. That's not true, because the things I'm trying to outline here, you can apply them even if you don't believe in God. Although I will say that if you do, and you actually have a relationship with God, things could be a hell of a lot better than, sorry, because I shouldn't say it. Things could be a lot better than they are. But again, the things that I'm describing, you can put this to practice regardless of whether you believe in God or not. But it's like, damn, I burned my fucking eyebrows off. Shit. Alright, so I just want to say it because I don't want to lose people. Like, this guy's one of those religious people. It's like, I don't know what's so bad about that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a church-going, Bible-thumping, knocking on every door down the street, trying to spread the good news kind of religious person. I just have always talked to God. And I have seen some things in my life, man, that I just, you can't describe it any other way. Things that have happened that just defy any kind of logical explanation. Like, here's a good example, all right? I love old stuff. I love old muscle cars from the 60s, 70s. For years now, my favorite car, two of my favorite cars ever were a 69 Boston Mustang and like a 71 to 73 Mach 1 Mustang. Love them. At some point, I'm going to own a couple of both of them. But lately, I saw this video. There's this place called Vanguard Motor Sales on YouTube here. And they show all these different cars. And they're all like mint condition, perfectly restored, just unbelievable looking cars. Well, I've always liked the 71, 72 Roadrunners and GTX. And they had a video, because the grabber blue color is one of my favorite colors for like those old muscle cars. Well, they had a 71 or 72 Roadrunner in grabber blue with the black decals coming down the back and on the hood, and no spoiler, but grabber blue, beautiful car, fucking beautiful, chrome bumper, chrome grille, beautiful fucking car. And ever since I saw this video a couple months ago, that car has just become like probably my favorite car in the whole world now. I want one very much so. All right, so now I just saw that video a couple months. I've always liked that particular style Roadrunner, but that color, like it wasn't on the top of my list anyways. But it literally has moved to the top of my list in that color and that style, that 71, 72 Roadrunner. All right, so one day, a couple weeks ago, now like I told you, everything's been going fucking fantastic. Things just keep getting better and better. And I mean, honestly, like if I were doing any better, I couldn't handle it. I really don't think I could handle being any happier and any better than I am right now. But it just keeps getting better. So, anyways, one day I'm at work, working by myself, and I go to this building. I had to go get a meter reading off this building by these doctor's offices. There's always somebody that drives this ugly ass BMW. I mean, I just despise all luxury cars anyways because of what they stand for, but there's like this like ugly fucking Probably cost at least 100 fucking grand or more. It's just uglier than shit. I'd rather walk, dude. I'd fucking rather walk than drive that fucking thing. Even for free, man. I'll take these $40 pair of work boots I got and just truck my ass across the fucking state if I had to. But, so I go over there the other day. It's about 2 weeks ago today? Yeah, 2 weeks ago today. I go over by this office and somebody, I'm guessing it's probably the same person because that BMW wasn't there. But there's some brand new fucking McLaren, which just looks ugly as fuck too. I'm sorry, I just don't like these new supercars. They're fucking disgusting looking, man. I mean, I just don't like them. Give me an old school 60s, 70s muscle car any day of the fucking week. So anyways, I pull up and I see this car and I just start laughing. I'm like, wow, that's fucking lame, dude. I'm like, this guy is that fucking concerned with what other people think about him that he's gonna go out and spend who knows how many hundreds of thousands of dollars on this ugly fucking car just to impress a bunch of fucking strangers. So, as I'm sitting there looking at the car, I go, you know what, man? And I had thought about, you know, the Grabber Blue Roadrunner plenty of times, but I actually said it that day. I go, you know what, man? I'm like, I can't wait until the fucking day comes that I have my Grabber Blue Roadrunner 71, 72. So when I pull up next to people driving shit like that, I could just fucking look at them and start laughing, you know? And fucking, I shit you not, 5 minutes later, I don't know if I've told this story or not, honestly. It's been so long since I made a video. I don't think I have, but anyways. So 5 fucking minutes later, I end up cutting out, I get pulled out of the parking lot where this doctor's offices are. And this one particular block I usually try to avoid just because I don't like the intersection. And I go near there, but never to that spot to where, anyways. So I end up on this block. I have to, instead of going straight or turning left at this as I pull out this parking lot, I just went right and took a quick left on this road. So this road is a very short road. It's only about probably 6 or 7 houses, if that, maybe 5 houses on each side. Well, as I roll up to the stop sign, I look to my left, and I shit you not, I see a beautiful 1971 Grabber Blue fucking Roadrunner with the black decals down the back, not on the hood. I don't like them on the hood anyways. And it has a spoiler. I'm not too big on a spoiler, but shit, I'll take it. But I'm looking at this, I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, that's the kind of things that have been happening. Like I say it and just bam, there it is. Like in the last video, I talked about speaking things into existence. So I look at this car, I took a couple pictures of it, and I'm like, dude, that's just, it's fucking wild, man. It is wild. And I looked at it, I'm like, you know what? Because there are some older cars that I want, because I want a collection of old muscle cars. Some of them I want to be stick, but some of them I just want to be automatic because I enjoy, just want to enjoy cruising around and not have to worry about shifting fucking gears. So anyways, that's one that I want to be an automatic. I look at this car and I go, dude, I bet you fucking money that's an automatic. Didn't go look at it. I'm sitting at the curb in the work truck just taking a picture of it. So anyways, I go on about my day, about 1 o'clock, noon, 1 o'clock. I mean, I end up in the same neighborhood, and I just get this, like, feeling in my gut. As I told you, I get feelings in my gut all the time. And this feeling in my gut said, go back to that house right now. Well, I don't question it anymore. I just, okay. I drive over there, and guess what? The guy that owns it is standing outside the house. My gut goes, talk to him. I'm like, I really didn't want to. I was kind of like, I don't want to just be some dude just, hey, bro, let me check out your ride. But I did. That's what my gut told me to do, so I did it. So I go up and talk to this guy. He's like, yeah, man, you want to see it? 1971 Roadrunner. Fucking Grabber Blue. I mean, dude, this thing's beautiful. So he shows me the car, starts it up, lets me hear it, and guess what? It's an automatic. I didn't have any doubt, man. I'm telling you, like, I knew it was. And by the time I got done talking to this guy, he already told me that in the next couple of years, he wants to sell it in the next couple of years. And I go, you know what? That's funny because in the next couple of years, I plan on buying my first old muscle car. And that, I mean, a Grabber Blue Roadrunner is what I wanted anyways, but I'm like, that car, that's what I want. So after seeing this car that morning, and then my gut telling me to go back over there at that specific time because he wasn't outside when I went by earlier in the day. So that specific time he's outside. By the time I got done talking to this guy, I have his phone number, and I sent him a text and said, hey, just so you know, I want you to have my number because in the next couple of years, I'm going to call you with an offer. And he said, sounds good. I'll see you in a couple of years. Now tell me that shit just happened to happen. Bullshit, dude. Bullshit that just happened to fucking happen. I'd be willing to bet that there's not another Grabber Blue Roadrunner 71, 72 within 1,000 fucking miles of this place around Chicago. I fucking bet there ain't. And in that good a shape. I mean, inside has a little bit of, a little stitching on the seats and stuff. It's not mint, but it looks fucking beautiful. And the thing is, I want an old car like that to just drive as my regular fucking car. I carry nothing but old school revolvers. I want to be that person that just everybody knows just drives nothing but old school muscle cars and old school like pickup trucks that are loud as fucking fast. That's it. Like, I want every car I drive to be like that. And man, I'm telling you, dude, fate, you can't beat fate, man. I don't even try. But it's like, dude, I'm sorry. I don't believe in coincidences. It is. But that ain't no fucking way. But anyways, I'm getting off point here. But I just want to say, like, see, that's the kind of stuff that happens. And that's another reason. I mean, I've seen things like that. I mean, just thousands of times in my life, stuff like that happen. So that's really why. That's not why I believe in God, but it definitely reinforced that, like, it's things like that where God just goes, oh, really? You can't wait to have a Grabber Blue Roadrunner? 1971, 72? All right. You know what? Go hang her right here and hang a quick oh, there you go. Sitting there. And I got the guy's number to buy it whenever I'm ready. That is not a coincidence. That shit does not happen to happen. I'm sorry, it just don't happen. Maybe for some people, but not for me. So anyways, again, for anybody that is not religious, you can still apply the principles that I'm trying to get across here. Now, I want to talk more about the downtimes, like I said, because I want, to express to people, like, dude, I mean, I went to bed every single night for 6 years, just fucking hoping I would not wake up in the morning. Just hoping. I mean, like I said, I'd never take my own life. I don't care if shit even was bad. I'm not going to fucking do that shit. But I was just fucking miserable, man. I just didn't want to wake up. It's like I've been taking Tylenol PMs for the last 10 years just to go to sleep because I've always had trouble sleeping. But it's like I started taking them right at the beginning of all that because first off, I couldn't sleep. Second of all, when I would take the Tylenol PMs, once they kick in, it just makes my brain come to a fucking screeching halt. Like, I just keep losing, I can't keep a thought in my head. Speaking it out loud, I cannot keep a thought in my head. So much so it starts to drive me nuts, but then again, that's the exact reason I take them. Now, I don't take them still because I'm down or anything. It's just, it's very relaxing because my mind is on such fucking, like, warp speed all day long. It's the only thing that just slows that shit down where I can fall asleep. Otherwise, I'll just lay there thinking about fucking anything. It don't matter. I'll be sitting there laying there thinking about my Roadrunner that I'm going to have here in the next couple of years and just lay awake all night thinking about driving it around because I can't sleep. It's like eating, too. I've never been able to I lost my appetite at 2 years old, dude. I go a couple days without eating sometimes and I even be hungry. Then again, being broke, that's kind of good, right? But I don't know. During that time, I was just so fucking miserable, man. And it's like I said, I refuse to say I was depressed, but dude, it's just that feeling, man. And it's like I said, I always knew it was going to come back, but yet I was just feeling sorry for myself, I guess. And it's like, just the fucking down times. It was just everything that could fucking go wrong did. Everything. Every little, and it wasn't like just big stuff, really. It was like all the little things all day long. All the little things that just keep fucking gnawing at you, just fucking, to where you just want to explode. And it's like, just all the fucking time, man. It was like, just everything. Just fucking always went wrong. So, dude, I don't know. It's just, I still remember, like, those worst fucking nights. Well, sorry, I remember the worst night. Or, I'm sorry, one of the worst nights. The rest of them, ironically, I remember sitting on those, like, the worst nights that I had and going, you know what? One day, I'm going to be looking back at that moment and going, I knew it would turn around. But the only one I remember is one in particular. There was some girl that I was seeing that I really liked. And no, I'm not doing a bunch of fucking cocaine. It's cold outside. Just so you know. I hate that fucking shit anyways. But, so, I don't know. I really liked this girl. Things just took off great in the beginning, and then it just kind of fell apart. And it wasn't even her, because honestly, like, I mean, she was cool. I was attracted to her. We had fun, but it was just, we had common interests. We liked the same music, some of the same stuff. Had a great time hanging out, but it's just like, that was like, I don't know, like the fucking 10th girl or more since my last serious girlfriend and I had broken up that shit just didn't work out with. And I don't know, I just had a down night, and it wasn't really because of this broad. It was just all of it stacking up, because that was about 4 or 5 years into it, and I was just so fucking miserable, dude. I was just like, what the fuck about everything. And it was like, is that a cicada? Oh, sorry. We got fucking cicadas out here. These things are fucking disgusting. I actually seen one on my porch one day, and it was buzzing away, and when I walked up, he said, gone. I'm like, look at these fucking tarantulas out here, too. I live by some woods, and it's fucking gross. But that one night I remember, because I'm sitting there, and I'm just so fucking miserable. I just, this feeling in my stomach, like just twisted in fucking knots, like somebody's wringing it out. I mean, that's basically how my fucking stomach felt the entire 6-year period, but it was just worse that night. And it was like, in those worst times, thankfully, in those worst times, I made it a point to say to God, look, I know this is for a reason. I know that it's for a reason. I know that it has to be important or it wouldn't be happening. I know it's going to turn around. I know one day I'm going to be so fucking happy that that shit is going to, like, you know, I knew it. I said, I understand. And I mean, I don't know enough to try to give God directions, you know, so I make it a point to not do that, because, you know, my own understanding is pretty fucking limited. And it's like, I just tell him, like, look, whatever you want for me, that's all I want. I wouldn't even ask for nothing. Not for any particular girl to be with, or I don't want this or that. I just say, look, whatever you want, that's what I want. I don't want nothing but that, and that's it. I'm like, I know I feel like a piece of shit for sitting here being all down about something that ain't nothing to fucking be down about anyways. But now, I know why I was down. It's because that fucking feeling hadn't come back yet. So, I just, every time, I mean, it was only, a couple handfuls of times over the 6 years where I was just really that fucking down. But I'm like, look, in those moments, I always said, like, whatever you want, that's all I want. If this is what's supposed to be happening, that's what I want. And you know how fucking hard it was to say that? You have no idea how fucking hard it was to say that. Like, I almost get choked up talking about it, because, man, dude, it was fucking just, it was, I mean, it wasn't hard to say it, but it was, you know, it's like, I just didn't want to go through no more of it. I just wanted it to be over, but I knew that it's all for a reason. Everything works together, or all things work together. I know it's for a reason. And one day, so anyways, so as time went on, that day finally came where it just fucking turned around. And it was like, I don't know that I started saying this until like the second half of that 6 years, but I would say constantly, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, honestly, I'm like, not only do I know this shit's gonna turn around one day, I'm like, now I'll be able to look back and know exactly why it happened. And I will also, turn around. I know I happened. Fuck, hang on. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I knew it was for a reason. I knew it would turn around. And, damn, I just fucking lost it again. Hold on. Oh, wait. I know it happened. I knew things would turn around. Fuck, hold on. Alright, that was it. And I would, that second half of that 6 years at least, I remember sitting there many times, and I'm like, dude, you know what? I wouldn't be the least, because I'm thinking, like, it's going to be a gradual shift from miserable to fucking happy as shit. But I would, all the time, like, dude, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if it just happened overnight. And I kid you not, that is exactly what happened. Ironically, of all things, the first serious girlfriend out of the two that I've ever even bothered to have, after we had been broken up for like 12, 13 years, I ended up hanging out with this girl, knowing better. And it's like every time I'd hang out one night, it was like all of a sudden she'd start calling me every single day and just want to tell me every single detail about every single thing that happened all day long and all the backstories to every little thing you could I mean, dude, it was fucking crazy. Like, I'm like, dude, we hung out one fucking night, man. I don't want to know your fucking life story. But that's what you should do. I mean, I literally, like, had a buddy who lived across the hall from me. He's out on the balcony. I'm on the balcony. I'm like, dude, this is fucking crazy. I put the phone on mute and I walked away for like 5 minutes. And it was on speakerphone, so you could hear it. I come back, I unmute, I go, put it back on mute, walk away for like 5-10 more minutes. And she just keeps fucking going on. So finally, whatever reason, she got all pissed off about something. And she called me drunk on the 3rd of July of 2016, and we just had a 2-hour screaming match. As I'm like working, I'm trying to like do shit, and like all my coworkers are watching me just screaming at my fucking phone and motherfucking this and that and all kind of things. But ironically, of all fucking things, who would have thought that the first girl I ever was like seriously involved with, you know, that I had met 15 years prior to that, who would have thought that by hanging out with that girl that one night would have been the spark that finally made me go, all right, fuck it, I'm done trying shit my way. Because during that 6 years, I thought this video, I'm about to hit my 33-minute mark, so I'm just going to roll into a second video because there's a lot more to say. So when it cuts, I'm just going to keep on going. But who would have thought that that'd be the one thing? Who would have fucking thought that somebody I knew that I didn't, you know, I broke up with 13 fucking years prior would be the one thing that would finally get me to go, fuck it. And during that 6 years, I was trying to find that feeling. I was trying to, like, I don't know, I think I was like looking for that feeling in a girl or something. I don't know. Because my last serious girlfriend, my gut had told me to date her instead of somebody else. But it also told me it was time to go, you know? So I guess I was trying to find that feeling in somebody because I didn't really know what it was that had me down. But it was like, during that time, like, I'm trying to like find that feeling. I'm trying to figure out what it is I'm supposed to do here. And I keep trying to like force life to happen. And the thing is, the only reason I did is because I thought that was what I was supposed to be doing at the time. And ironically, as it turns out, that is exactly what the fuck I was supposed to be doing. I just wasn't supposed to get nowhere with it. I was supposed to keep trying. So that on the 4th of July of 2016, I go, you know what, God? It's all yours. I'm done. I'm done trying. I'm just going to fucking go with the flow of life. I'm going to quit dating. Quit going out. I'm going to quit hanging out with all my friends except for the couple of really close ones I've had for like 20 years. And it's going to cut in the next few seconds here. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to spend a lot of time alone and just try to figure out, like, I knew who I was in my 20s. This is no longer sufficient, but it took me to almost 35 to fucking figure that out. But, so I'm just going to wait because this is going to cut off in like 10 seconds. So, come on, you motherfucker, and turn. Here we go. See you on the other side.